A lot of brands are running 5, 10, sometimes even 15 campaigns for a single product, and this just doesn't make any sense anymore. I manage creative strategy and meta ads for a bunch of supplement brands spending between $100 to $1,000 a day on meta right now. And after Andromeda rolled out in July, we basically had to rebuild how we structured a lot of the campaigns for some of the accounts. Some of them weren't really affected. But we pretty much moved to a one campaign structure that sounds too simple to work, honestly. But from what I've seen, it's one of the only structures that I've found that actually gives Andromeda what it needs to do its job properly. And if you're running a hero product right now and you have your campaigns scattered everywhere, prospecting, retargeting, testing, scaling, you have everything just split out for no real reason, you're fighting the algorithm instead of feeding it how it wants to be fed, which is more creative and organized properly. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the exact hierarchy that I use. One campaign, multiple ad sets within it, but not organized the way you think. And then at the end, I'm going to show you one naming convention mistake that can basically corrupt your entire testing structure if you want to do it organized. Most advertisers have no idea how they're making it. Here's what nobody wants to admit about the old way of running the meta ads. It was designed for an algorithm that literally doesn't exist anymore. Think about how most people set up campaigns for a hero product. They create a prospecting campaign targeting the cold audiences, and then a retargeting campaign, and then maybe a lookalike or a testing, and then a separate scaling one. And what happens when you do it like that? Each campaign is fighting for the same customers. Your retargeting campaign is stealing conversions from prospecting, and your lookalike is overlapping with your interest testing, and your testing campaigns as a whole never get enough data to actually learn anything. You end up paying to show ads to the same person across 4 or more campaigns at the same time, and Meta's charging you for every single one of those. But here's what changed with the Andromeda algorithm update, and this is pretty critical to understand. The algorithm got 10 times more powerful at matching creatives to people, matching your ads to the buyers. 10,000 times better. That means the audience targeting, the thing we used to obsess over, it barely matters anymore. And what matters is giving the algorithm enough creative diversity to find the right message for the right person at the right time. And you can't do that when your campaigns are fragmented across your account like shrapnel. One campaign, one source of truth, and that's pretty much the easiest way to start. Okay, let me walk you through the hierarchy for it and pay attention to the order of things here because this is where most people get it backwards. Level 1, your hero product. You pick one hero product, not your whole catalog, not 3 products you're trying to push this month. One product that you're going all in on, your main seller. For an example, let's say it's an energy supplement, something that helps with focus and sustain energy throughout the day. That's your campaign. One CBO campaign for that hero product. Then, level 2, general audience. Now within that campaign, we need to establish who we're actually talking to. And I don't mean interests, I don't mean behaviors, I mean just the demographics themselves. For our energy supplement, the general audience might be women 35 plus. Women 35 plus, that's it. Broad, simple, a gender and an age. You're probably thinking that's way too broad. I need to target fitness enthusiasts or busy professionals or whatever it might be. And you don't, because targeting now happens through your creative, not the actual audience settings. The creative itself is the targeting. And then level 3, personas. This is where it starts to get interesting because within your general audience of women 35 plus, you have multiple personas, dozens, who want your product for a completely different reason. Think about who actually buys an energy supplement. Busy moms who are exhausted by 2 p.m., nurses working 12-hour shifts, teachers running on fumes, grandmas who want energy to keep up with their grandkids. It's the same product, completely different people, and completely different reasons for buying it altogether. And here's what most advertisers miss. Each of these personas get their own ad set, not their own campaign, their own ad set within the same CBO campaign. Why? Because CBO lets the algorithm shift budget towards whichever persona is converting best today or recently. The markets change, seasons shift, and some weeks grandmas are buying like crazy, and other weeks it's nurses, and I can't explain it to you. One campaign structure lets the algorithm optimize across all of them simultaneously. Then level 4, angles. But we're not done there, because even within a single persona, people have different reasons for wanting the outcome. Take nurses. A nurse wanting an energy supplement might be motivated by more focus during long shifts, not crashing after lunch, having energy left for family after work, mental clarity for critical decisions. It's the same persona, but there's different angles within it. So your ad set naming might look like nurses focus during shifts, nurses post-lunch energy, nurses energy after work. Each angle and persona combination gets tested within its own ad set. Then, level 5, the awareness levels. Now remember earlier when I said the algorithm is 10 times better at matching? This is where you actually leverage that. Within each angle, you create versions for different awareness levels. Like, an unaware nurse doesn't know your supplement exists yet. They're just Googling, why am I so tired? A problem-aware nurse knows that they have an energy problem, but doesn't know your solution specifically. A solution-aware nurse is comparing energy supplements. For nurses, focus during shifts ad set in the campaign. At the unaware level, you could have something like, are you having a difficult time staying awake for the 12-hour shifts? Or problem aware could be, tried coffee, tried energy drinks, still crashing mid-shift. For solution aware, you could do something like looking for a clean energy supplement that won't give you the jitters. It's all the same angle, but it's different entry points based on where they are in their customer journey specifically. And this is where the creative volume actually matters. At each awareness level, you're not running one hook. You're running multiple hooks because the hook is where the attention is won or lost pretty much. The first 3 seconds when someone sees your ad determines everything. And for our unaware nurse angle, you might test something like caring for everyone but yourself, or maybe your patients get your best, but what's left of you? Stuff like that. And you could hit pain points or dream outcomes with your hooks. But it's the same persona and it's just different angles. Same awareness level, different emotional entry point. And some nurses will respond to caring for others guilt angle, while some respond to the professional identity angle of just talking to nurses. And some might respond to a relatable struggle. Let me show you what this looks like at scale. You have one hero product, one general audience, women 35 plus. You have 4 personas, moms, grandmas, teachers, nurses. You have 3 angles per persona, that's 12. And then you have 3 awareness levels per angle. That's 36 ads in total that you'd be running inside this campaign. And that's 100 creative from one hero product inside of one campaign. And this is what Andromeda is really built for. You don't have to use 100. You can obviously tone it down to whatever your creative value might be able to handle, or whatever your budget's set at. If you have a $50 a day budget, it makes way more sense to start with like 30 ads. And this is why they increase the capacity 10,000 times. Not so you could run 10,000 more campaigns, so you could run one campaign with massive creative diversity inside of it. All right, remember at the beginning when I said there's one naming convention mistake that corrupts your entire testing structure? Here it is. Most advertisers naming their creative something like Energy V1, Energy Video Final, Supplement Ad New, and that tells you nothing. And more importantly, it tells the algorithm nothing. When you go to analyze your performance, you have no idea which angles actually won and which awareness levels converted or personas, which hooks stopped the scroll. You just know Energy V3 did pretty good. Well, great, but what does that actually mean for your next batch of creative? Nothing. You're just guessing again, maybe trying to make something a little similar. That's why I use the framework that I was talking about with naming conventions of persona, awareness, angle, and then hook. Every single creative gets all 4 elements: nurses, unaware, focus, care for others. And you don't have to have the hook on the actual creative itself. I do like having it on the ad within the Meta Ads Manager though. And just by reading that name, you know who it's for, nurses, where they are in the awareness stage, unaware, what angle it's hitting, focus, and which hook it's using, the caring for others angle. Now, when I sort by performance, I can see patterns like, oh, the care for others hook is doing really well across all personas at the unaware level. Or, okay, nurses convert the best at the solution aware level. They're more analytical, I suppose. You'll just figure out what's going on over time within your account and to your audience. Like even just easy things like the focus angle outperforming the energy angle across the board. And this naming convention turns your ad account into like a database that you can use to make decisions. Every dollar you spend teaches you something, but only if you can actually read the data. And when you want to scale, you know exactly what to make more of because you know exactly what's working. More hooks in the care for others style, or more solution aware content for nurses. And that's the exact systematic creative production that I like using, and that's what seems to be winning right now with the Andromeda algorithm. So let me walk you through how you can actually implement this within your business. Step 1, build your creative map first. Before you even touch your ads manager, map out your hero product, general audience, 3 to 5 personas within it, 2 to 3 angles for each, and the different awareness levels that you plan on hitting. I use just a Google Sheet, or you can use a Word doc. When it's filled out, you have your creative production roadmap for the next 30 to 60 days. Step 1, build one CBO campaign with the campaign objective of sales or leads, whatever conversion event that you want. Set the campaign budget to a CBO, not at the ad set level. Minimum budget, I would say, would be 3 times your target CPA per day. If you're targeting a $50 CPA, I would say at least $150 a day. Step 3, create persona angle ad sets. Each ad set represents one persona plus one angle combination. So nurses focus, or nurses energy, moms afternoon crash, whatever it might be. You might have 10 to 15 ad sets in one campaign, and that's fine. The ad sets are where your creative diversity lives inside of. Step 4, load your creative by the awareness level. Within each of those ad sets, your creative variation should represent different awareness levels and hooks. I would say 4 to 5 creatives per awareness level per ad set. Ideally, 8 to 15 if you actually have a high creative capacity and a good budget to use. Each one using the naming convention that we just talked about. Step 5, let it learn and then read the data, because you can now. I would say give it 3 days minimum before making decisions. Then you just sort your ads by spend, sort by maximum lifetime because they've been running for that long. And then you can look for patterns in the names, not just the numbers on the chart. Which personas are converting, which angles are working, which hooks are winning, which awareness levels need more creative. The structure turns every campaign into a learning machine. You aren't just running ads, you're building a system that gets smarter every week when you look at it. So that's the one campaign structure. One campaign per hero product, ad sets organized by persona and angle, creative diversity across all the awareness levels within those, and hooks. A naming convention that makes the data actually readable and usable for you. And if you're running fragmented campaigns right now, you're probably making the algorithm's job harder. And yours. Andromeda wants to optimize across massive creative, so just let it. All you have to do is feed this thing. Peace.